Well, natural disasters are difficult stories to tell at the best of times, but this is without doubt the hardest story I've ever been involved with because of the secretive and oppressive nature of this regime. They are determined to try and do everything possible to stop the outside world seeing and hearing what is happening inside the Irrawaddy Delta. There are police and army checkpoints. They have army patrols on the delta itself and up in the skies as well. A huge amount of effort going in to try and track any foreign journalists operating inside Burma. It is a very tense and a very difficult place to be working at the moment, and one of the most frustrating aspects of all of this for our team here is that we're trying to reach the worst affected areas, huge swathes out in the Irrawaddy Delta, where if the initial reports that are emerging are anything to go by, it's those areas that I fear we will see the highest death tolls, which will push the final figure much higher. But because of the nature of trying to operate here and the difficulties that we face, it is a very big challenge trying to get down there and trying to see what is happening. Across the Irrawaddy Delta, there is only death and destruction. More than 9 days on, the riverbanks and the fields are still littered with bloated corpses. Our journey takes us into the destructive path cut by Cyclone Nagris. The lives and homes of those in one of the world's poorest countries, cruelly torn apart. We arrive at the remains of one village and find a group of survivors dazed and desperate. They've lost those they love and now wonder how on earth they will survive with no aid in sight. The cyclone was terrifying. It destroyed everything, Korong tells me. We have nothing left. The Burmese army helicopters raise their hopes, but to no avail. They're hunting for those trying to tell the outside world what is happening. We have to take cover as a boat carrying soldiers passes. The regime spares nothing trying to stop us, while more than 1 million people suffer with no help. So they struggle alone in their hour of need, trying to rebuild what they can. But aid and supplies are urgently needed to shelter the homeless and to prevent disease. In this oppressed country, people are too scared to question their rulers, but on the relative safety of our boat, Margwin confirms what we've found.
Up to this day, at the present day, there is no help and no aid.
In this delta of despair, the bodies pass us all the time. And what of the future for those who survived? This is what's left of their rice factories, a vital industry ripped to shreds. What little these people had to rely on, also swept away. In the town of Laputa, the heart of this region, we find more homes razed to the ground. And again, there is no help from the regime. The survivors must fend for themselves. This is a story Burma's rulers don't want you to see. But even if the world wants to help, the generals remain the obstacle. Having already suffered the worst nature can do, the cyclone's victims are now hostages to their rulers' indifference. In the Irrawaddy Delta, Burma.